A lot of times people will ask, how can I make sure that I'm really maximizing Dog Handler Academy? Like my staff watch it, but how do I keep them engaged? How do I move to the next level? Or if I have a staff member who's not really watching it as often and frequently as I would like them to progress, what can I do? There's lots of options, and every facility is different. So here are some things that either I have used or several of our clients have used as well. I set a timeline when I have a new hire. They have 2 weeks to complete each module. So that way, at the end of 60 days, they should be very well versed, and I should be very comfortable in allowing them to be in my play groups unaccompanied or unsupervised in that manner. I also, every time they complete a module, they have the opportunity for a raise. So, depending on how many modules you require them to get through, in order to really become a productive person where they're not just an extra during the shift because they're learning. Figure out what that pairing is. So for me, it's either 50 cents or $1 every time they complete a module, depending on what position and what role I'm hoping to put them into. If they're not doing things on their own, they get a couple reminders. Remember, you get an email and they get an email. 7 days. So if they're not progressing, they're not doing it, then I simply say, what's the situation? It's an opportunity for you to have conversation with this new hire who you're getting ready to know. Maybe they don't have Wi-Fi at home. Maybe they have used up all their phone data. It happens. I have gift cards to the local coffee shop that has free Wi-Fi. So I'll be like, hey, you're done with your shift at 1 o'clock. You got anything going on tomorrow? Nope. Great. Here's a $20 gift card. After your shift tomorrow, go to the coffee shop, get yourself through some of these videos. It's a way to show them that you've invested in them, not just in their education, but in their personal life as well. If you're like, I don't want to pay them an extra $20, I'm already going to pay them for this, I'm already going to pay them for that, no worries. So start scheduling them an extra hour at the end of their shift or an extra half an hour at the end of their shift to go sit somewhere in your building and watch the videos. The key with that, though, is make sure they're sitting somewhere where it's uninterrupted and that they have headphones for their phone. Because if you're asking them to go sit in the grooming room while the groomer's doing stuff, too distracting. If you have a break room where staff are coming in and out and grabbing a soda and grabbing a snack, too distracting. They're not going to be focused on the videos. So think of that ahead of time and make sure that you're letting them know that you're scheduling them to do their videos. I will tell you that scheduling them at the end of their shift versus at the beginning of their shift usually is a lot better for them to be focused, because they'll also, as they're watching the videos, be thinking of things that they just encountered in daycare or that they saw in daycare as they were training that really will help to sink in why this is so important. Now, if they work the night shift, then maybe your only option is to schedule them beforehand. Not a problem. Then you just premise it of, hey, you're going to watch these videos and then go up into your shift. So I want you to think about all the things that you're watching and learning in your Dog Handler Academy videos, and now how you're going to apply them in the various play groups and in the interactions that you're going to see. I will tell you that in our 101 module, teaching them a lot about the importance of diluting all the chemicals in your facility really hits home when you ask them to fill up that mop bucket. Then you have several different options after that. So whether you're pairing them completing it with a raise, you're having them come in, I also do pay them for their time. So as I see that they've completed it, I've gotten that little certificate emailed to me and to them. Not everybody's going to have a printer. So don't expect them to like bring you their certificate. They could, however, screenshot it and send it to you if you're using Homebase or WhatsApp or When I Work or whatever program. They can do that to communicate to you. So again, you're putting more on their plate. But as a new hire, be cautious of how much you're putting on their plate. So also paying them for the time that they've spent to watch those videos. Now, I talked a lot about new hires, but what about your existing staff? How do you incentivize them? Who doesn't like money? Let's be honest. So, same concept. Every time I would see that certificate, I would email the payroll bookkeeper and say, they get 20 bucks or 25 bucks or whatever it was. When my staff completed the first aid module, everybody got 50 bucks because to me, that module was absolutely imperative that they follow through and learn it. And then we had a staff meeting that everybody then got to practice the things that they learned in that first aid module. So, accompany new hires with raises, schedule them if they're not working through them as fast. I mean, this does show initiative. So maybe you just want to cut bait and let them go. That is something you get to decide. But by using these training modules as that opportunity, it really gives you a good feel for who's invested in your business and who maybe is not. Gift cards to have them go to a coffee shop where there is free Wi-Fi. All of these are opportunities for you to interact with that new staffer as well. You know, when they say people don't quit jobs, they quit bosses, new hires are super insecure and they don't know what questions to ask. They're not going to come up and approach you. So all of this is meant for you to be able to approach them or your manager to approach them. Really think of it that way. Secondary piece to really implementing your Dog Handler Academy is who are you assigning to them as their buddy? You might call them their coach. You might call them their shift lead, whatever you're going to call them. But there needs to be somebody that's constantly checking in with them. We give you what I do as far as that first couple of weeks that they're with us, like what's the checklist? And that checklist is always assigned to somebody that they are going to be working with on majority of their shifts. Maybe not every shift, but the majority of their shifts. So that way that buddy can just constantly check in on them and make sure things are progressing. That check-in is imperative to your new hires feeling like they have made the right choice and they've joined the right company, that you actually care about them. They're coming because they care about dogs. You need to teach them the value that they bring to the table and the value that you have with them. You hired them for a reason, and they need to know that. So these are some various ways for you to ensure that you are getting the most out of Dog Handler Academy and maximizing their education.